New Year to all. I'd like to welcome you to the first regular meeting of the Dare County Board of Elections. Today is Tuesday, January 17th, and I'd like you all to first join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, today we're going to start our meeting with a time of honoring a board member who has served with us. I've been with Jim Clark for about a year and a half on this board. Jim passed away suddenly before Christmas, and is really a sad time for his wife, Sandy. We want to pass our condolences as a board to her. And I just want to say briefly, and I'm going to defer to Ken Buchanan to say something in his honor, but in the short time that I knew Jim, it was evident that here was a person who was a good citizen of our county, who wanted to do his part in our county and cared deeply for everything we do here. And these are the kinds of things that make us a community. Jim served on this board, and he also served on the county ABC board. So he was busy through the end of his life caring about our community. So, our board, I think I can speak on behalf of Aida and Randy and Ken too, and our staff, that Jim did his part, and we're really happy to be able to honor him today. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Ken Buchanan, who will say something to you about Jim.
I want to take just a minute to talk about my friend and colleague, Jim Clark. When I joined the board in 2019, Jim was already serving on the election board. He was welcoming to me and was a great source of information about the mission of our board, the importance of maintaining the integrity of the board, and how it was our duty to follow election laws to ensure fair and open elections. Jim was a man of few words, but when he spoke, it was with knowledge and authority. He was conscientious about our work. He was a man of honor. He was quite simply a man who I was proud to serve with, proud to know, and proud to call our friend. Rest in peace, Jim. You will be missed.
Thank you, Ken.
Mr. Chair, may I
do
make
you
a
have
brief
something?
comment too? Thank you.
Please do.
I would echo everything that my colleague Ken Buchanan said. And I was also going to say that there are people in this world who are talkers and people who are listeners. And Jim was a listener, but he listened to everybody. He listened well, and he listened to everybody, and he talked when necessary. He was kind, he was gentle, he understood, and he did speak when necessary. I remember one vote that we took, and he was a little excited about it after we took the vote, and so he was not afraid of speaking up. But he was kind, and he was a listener, and I think those are qualities that we need in this world. And I join with everything Ken said, and we will miss him.
All right. The next item on our agenda is our public comment. And I know we have a special guest with us today, our Dare County chairman of our Board of Commissioners, Bob Woodard. And Bob, would you like to come up and say something? Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Skip, board members. Appreciate the opportunity to come before you this morning. I apologize. As much as we do it, I don't know if you had a sign-up sheet or not, but we had talked. So
Yeah. No, it's fine.
You called me forward, and I certainly appreciate that. It's really an honor for me to stand before you this morning and talk to a dear friend, Jim Clark. Ken and all those comments that you made about Jim, certainly true. I can remember back around 2017, we had to make, the GOP had to make 2 appointments to this board. And I commend Carol Winicki with the GOP and Brownie Douglas for bringing Jim's name forward. They saw something in Jim that we certainly needed on the Board of Elections, and that was somebody with integrity, somebody that had a calm demeanor. As Ada said, he was a man of few words, but I can tell you his biggest strength, and I agree with her, is his ability to listen and to take it all in, not only just with respects to elections, but anything this county dealt with. I had numerous conversations with him about things that were going on in the county. We had the opportunity to also take his talents to appoint him to the ABC board. And he was a great member on that board. I know that the chair, Ray White, was very respectful to me to thank us for putting him on that board, because he was a great listener. And it's just a genuine individual that you could count on. And if he disagreed with you, trust me, he's pulled me aside before, and we've had those conversations. But he did it respectfully, and that's what I admired so much about Jim, is that he was a man of principle, and he would support you 100% if he agreed with you. But if he was in opposition, he'd let you know, but he would let you know respectfully, and he didn't hold grudges, and for that I couldn't say more about him. I thought the world of him. He was a great friend, and he will certainly be dearly missed. And I appreciate your board's comments this morning about Jim and his service to this board. I think he served it well, and we're grateful for such. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. We appreciate you being here with us today. And I'd also like to acknowledge Carol Warnecki, co-chair of the GOP party in Dare County, and Susan Sullivan, chairman of the Democratic Party. She's with us today, and in honor of Jim Clark's passing. And so, we will miss Jim. You always miss someone like that who contributes to a board in the way he did. The next item on our agenda, I don't think there's any other public comment. Is there? No? Okay. All right. The next item is old business, and do you all have any old business?
I'd like to see our meetings move back from 11 a.m. to 10 a.m. Is that old or new?
Well, I don't know. It may be new.
Okay,
But-
I'll wait.
Okay. All right. Well, new business is next.
Yep.
So you're covered.
I'd like to make a motion that we move our meeting from 11 a.m. back to 10 a.m. like we used to, that we've done in the past.
All right. It's been moved that we change our meetings from 11 to 10 a.m. As you've done in the past. This is something I'm not aware of.
Yeah, we used to, I mean, you were always 10.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a second?
Well,
Do you want to still have it on the same,
So we can
the
discuss.
same
Yeah.
Tuesday,
Same Tuesday as.
just 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock. I'd just like to move the meeting up.
Second.
What Ken is saying is, because prior to Mr. Jim being on the board, the meetings were earlier, and Mr. Jim was on the ABC board, so
That's
to
right.
accommodate him.
That's right. That's
The
what,
meeting time was changed till 11 o'clock to
that's right.
accommodate him being able to make his meeting on the same day.
yeah, I remember you all talking about that. And just for the record, Aida has seconded the motion. So all that discussion was sort of lapped on top of that. So, all right, it's been moved and seconded that we change did you have something else you wanted to say? Any other-
Well, I prefer 11 o'clock, but I don't care strongly about it. My only concern is we're down 2 members, and perhaps they should weigh in on it. So could we wait maybe till the next meeting to discuss it, or?
Well, being down two, we'll probably be down one for a little bit because we're not sure when the new appointment is going to be made.
Okay,
Yeah,
So,
we're
I mean,
looking
if
at
you,
mid-February, from what I
Yeah.
understand,
yeah,
around that date, around the 12th or something like
Okay.
that. I don't know that that person has to vote on this, having no prior experience with this board and
Mhm.
the things that orbit around it for us to set a time. But certainly, it might be a good idea to get Randy's input when he's here next time. So anyway, that's a good point. That's an excellent point. All right, so,
I then will withdraw my motion.
okay, all right. All right, so the motion's withdrawn, and we'll hold that, and that will become old business. So we will finally have old business. So I have to look at the bright side. All right. All right, so under new business, we have the approval of the minutes from our last meeting. And I've read the minutes. I don't have any. Does anyone have any corrections or additions to the minutes? Ken, did you already look at it?
Yeah, I read it too. There's
Yeah,
nothing-
everything looked fine to me.
Okay.
All right, so seeing that no one has any comments, all those in favor of approving the minutes of the meeting of December 13th on Tuesday, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Minutes are approved. The next item on our agenda is the director's director's report.
don't have
Jackie?
a lot this month because we're still in a, downtime. The first thing I like to say is the Dare County salary study that was recently done reclassified Kelly's title from senior election specialist. She is currently now the deputy director.
Did you get paid?
Congratulations.
Did that come along with an increase in pay?
Yes, it did come with some compensation.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
We did our list maintenance, which is our national change of address that we do twice a year. We do it in January and in July. That was done ran on January the 9th. And we printed 374 cards were mailed. So we'll be looking for those cards to be coming back in, trickling back in for us to process any changes indicated on those cards as well. The state has advised that the master election schedule will be released by the end of the month. It is currently under final review. This is as of last Wednesday. So we hope to have the master calendar out by the end of the month, and that will be on the state website, available for everybody that would like to keep track of that. The budget, the county manager advised at our department head meeting on January the 4th that we'll be starting to work on the budget for the 2-year budget for 24-25. And that will be due towards the end of February. He said that the county finance director and their office will be sending out emails to all the department heads sometime in the next few weeks for department heads to start working on that. He did mention that there would possibly be a change in procedure. He stated that he was thinking about changing it up where he would assign a dollar amount to each department, and then each department would make that money work within that dollar amount. So in other words, he would give you a figure, and then we would take that figure and go through all of our line items and disperse our line items with that total amount that he has allotted, rather than us getting a dollar amount and submitting it to them for approval. So that was one of the things he said he was possibly looking at changing up, but we haven't received any information on that yet. And they're looking at the Board of Commissioners adopting the budget at the first meeting in June. So the departments what they're saying is the departments would have to have their proposed budget submitted to the finance department sometime around the end of February. But they would be emailing further information, and that has not come out yet.
When do we see it as the board?
Well, the board will see it whenever I get the information. I don't know, I can't give you a date and time. I'll just, as soon as I get it, I'll, do my work, and then you all can look at it there, then.
It sounds like the focus of our February meeting will be the budget. Or,
I don't know for sure, because it depends on when they get the information to us. We haven't received it yet.
okay.
So I guess that'll be founded on historical data, like based on what you had as a budget last year, maybe?
Well, it just depends on what the county manager allots. So yeah, some of it would be historical. Our budget doesn't change a whole lot as far as our line items. I mean, we may have changes in our line item. We may have changes in our part-time payroll.
Yeah.
And we have certain items that are reoccurring every year, like our auto mart rentals and our maintenance of our equipment. That, for the most part, those are items that we always have. So we pretty much kind of configure, we may add a little bit to it because we don't really know what it's going to cost. We're really guessing at what it's cost. So what I normally do is look at what they told us the previous year and maybe add on a little bit, because what I've seen, I've only done one budget. And so what I've seen is that the cost has increased, over the years. I mean, it's just like last year, they were talking about a paper shortage. So that increased. So it just depends. So we would have to look at each individual line item
Mhm.
and take it from there.
Okay.
Can you remind me, you said something about it's a 2-year budget?
Yes,
I
it's
think
a
what-
2-year budget.
So which 2 years, or where are we now?
24, 25.
It would be 24 and 25 is
Okay.
the new budget.
So the
And that
budget-
would take
okay, gotcha.
effect in July. Right now, we're in the back end of the 22-23 budget that was done in 21.
Gotcha.
Do you have any other questions?
And that's good, because a 2-year budget takes into account that there's 1 year for municipal elections and 1 year that's either a midterm or presidential.
Mhm.
Well, we usually have both. We'll have a midterm
Exactly.
we'll have the, so,
Every odd year is a municipal.
right, and the
and
even
then-
years will have a primary, a
Right.
general, possible second primary.
Right, right.
So, yeah,
But in every 2-year budget, it's either going to be
one or the other.
a midterm or a presidential and a municipal.
Mm-hmm,
That it
So,
covers,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Jackie, did you have anything else?
and that's it.
Okay. All right. I want to back up to something that we were talking about with the State Board of Elections site, and just remind anyone who may be watching that if you want to see what the state board sends out to local boards of elections like our board and see what moves us along and the guideposts that we follow, you can go to the State Board of Elections site and see the types of things, the types of information and the things that they vote upon that affect our county. So if any of you are election nerds, like my friend Aida and several of our other friends, I'm becoming
You're
one.
becoming one.
I'm becoming one. And, but if you really want to see what moves elections in North Carolina, and understand the laws and the protocols and the statutes that we have to follow, you can do that research on your own, and you can look at what the state provides county boards as guidance. And I will say that this board and our staff, our director, follows state statutes and federal statutes to a T, to the letter. So everything that we do is guided by law, including some of the dates that we take certain actions, before and after the election, all laid out by state law. So anyone who's interested, you can see that stuff for yourself. And kind of educate yourself on election procedures and laws. So anyway, there's my ad for bringing everybody up to speed. All right, the next item on our agenda is a closed session to discuss personnel matters. And I'd like a motion for the board to go into closed session.
I motion to move to closed session according to general status GS 143-318.11 subsection AC6 for the purpose of discussing of personnel and staffing.
Okay, it's been moved that we go to closed session to discuss personnel matters. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. All right, so we will go into closed session. I don't know what to suggest, you know, if you all want to hear whatever it is we have at the end of this, you could hang around or, what's that? I don't really know. It's going to be discussion. You know, I really don't know.
We can go in the back if you want, and
Yeah.
they can stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, everybody, we're back from closed session, and we had a meeting that, closed session that took up personnel matters, which is why that could not be an open session. Does anyone have any other business for the board today?
I just would like to know when our next meeting is.
Next meeting, let me see.
Third Tuesday of March.
February 14th,
Yep.
21st.
21st?
The 21st is the third Tuesday in the month.
Okay.
All right. That is
At 11, I guess, until we vote.
11, yeah, and then we'll have, hopefully we'll have Randy here and we can
Mhm.
talk about changing the time of our meeting. So that meeting will be at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, February 21st. All right, seeing that there's no other business, is that correct? All right, I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.